It's March 13th, 2020.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 145. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
Whoa.
I'm going to get all this energy. This live.
This fake.
It's a fucking ruse.
It's a farce. That fake energy.
It's a facade.
Just all these different synonyms. It's a charade. Holy moly, this is going to be bad. I can already tell this is going to be bad.
Enjoy it.
I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, Todd, I want to go ahead and announce here at the beginning of the show. We talked about this a little bit last week, but I just want to, if I did not make myself clear last week, dear listener, the first episode of our Clone Wars Season 7 shots should be live at or around the time you're listening to this. So go listen. Go listen to our take on the Bad Batch arc. Should be live somewhere in that area. We'll see what happens there, but it'll be live on the day this goes live, at some point during the day. Either way, go listen to it. Support it. Just as you supported us during The Mandalorian, will you support us again during these Clone Wars? Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there before we got into it. Todd, what's been going on this week? We're not on the phone this time.
No.
So that's good.
Everything's right in the world. I have my big boy headphones on. All that good shit.
Got my big boy headphones on. My internet is now back to its normal, stable self. I'm very happy about that. The weather is blisteringly hot here in Louisiana. Spring has sprung, it seems like, Todd.
I mean, technically it's warming up for us as well. It's in the high 30s.
Oh, God. It's so funny because I was telling people, like, they're like, oh, man, like, it's going to be a hot summer. I'm like, well, yeah, we're going to pay for this shit. We're going to pay for that cold winter.
Well, here's my thing. Like, the weather right now for me is perfect. Because it's got a nice brisk breeze. Still rocking them, when I do my overnight shifts, daddy's back in shorts.
Yeah, it's time for me to die in this heat. So, what's been going on, Todd? What have you been playing?
Nothing.
All right, moving along.
I mean, honestly, it's just the same old shit. Just playing Battlefront 2, and a little bit of Call of Duty. It's really all I've really been playing. I think the only thing I've really been doing in Battlefront 2 is I've been, like, leveling up, like, getting, like, the boost cards all leveled up and shit for, like, the operators, like, you know, like the infiltrators, the enforcers, and shit like that.
Yes.
And now I'm in, like, leveling up my heroes slowly but surely.
Yeah, you've been forcing me along that fucking journey with you.
Well, it just so happens that in the co-op that the Galactic Republic is mainly defense.
And so defense sucks.
It does suck. Because I'm trying to level up my boy, the chosen one.
Depends on who you ask, apparently. Their take on who the chosen one is.
Well, a lot of people just think that they shot down Anakin's throat.
There's actually, I'm not going to get too deep into this because I talked about it quite a bit, I think, last week. But they did confirm, they added a little something in the novelization for Rise of Skywalker, where Vader actually turns, not when he throws Palpatine at the end of Return of the Jedi. That's not the turning moment. The turning moment is actually that classic shot where Vader and Luke, like, clash sabers in front of Palpatine, because at that moment Luke actually would have struck him down.
Yeah.
Vader stopped him from striking Palpatine down, and that was the moment that Vader turned.
Really? I like that.
So, yeah, I like that too, actually. Kind of gives a little more... I usually don't like retcons like that.
It's a good retcon.
I think, if anything, George Lucas is probably, I was just going to make for a cool shot to end my saga.
But now they've shat on my saga.
That's probably all that was in actuality, but, you know, a little bit of context for you there. Yeah, it's a lot of the same for me too, though, Todd. I finished Act 2 of Dragon Quest. I've now beaten the game 2 out of 3 times.
Again, you choose to suffer in this. That is your choice.
It's so bad, dude. I was looking at all the post-game content. I was like, how much post-game content could there possibly be? There's so fucking much.
And again, I told you this. I told you this many times. I'm like, you choose to continue playing.
It's rough. I don't know. I mean, look, the thing about it is like the game is so good that like if it was a worse game, I would not have given it this much of my existence and this much of my soul and life essence. And now I'm too far in. Like now I'm all in. I will absolutely 100% this game one day. Animal Crossing comes out next week, so I don't have too much faith in like a time frame on that. I'll probably be playing it for the rest of the fucking year.
Oh yeah, I do need to pre-order Doom.
Yep, and you got Neo coming out very soon.
Well, it comes out today.
Today, the time you're listening to this, yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna hear some thoughts from you next week on Neo 2. It's getting good reviews, Todd.
I don't give a shit.
Good reviews.
I don't pay attention to reviews.
You know what else has been getting good reviews? Mulan.
Right?
Live action Mulan. Getting some good early buzz. I'm actually super excited to watch that. Can't wait. Actually, it's funny. Speaking of Mulan, kind of in that same girl power realm that we're getting a lot of right now in movies, all happening around International Women's Day, blah, blah, blah. I did see Birds of Prey finally, which was very much a girl power movie. And I liked it.
I'll see it when it's free.
It was good. It's definitely worth the watch. It's funny. It's technically one of the better DC movies, honestly. It's up there. I would probably put it right underneath like Wonder Woman as probably my favorite. I liked it better than Aquaman. I'll say that. I think it's better than Aquaman. I think it's very much like, it feels like the Deadpool of these DC movies. So I know we're not going to do like a shots on it or anything like that, so I just wanted to briefly mention it. Also, real quick, yet another Olive Garden reference in this movie. I shit you not, this movie has an Olive Garden reference. Something is happening, Todd. There is a psionic convergence.
No, you need to stop. You're awakening the eldritch horror.
There is a psionic convergence that is formulating in the bowels of Olive Garden.
You fucking fool. There is an eldritch horror. You need to stop.
Olive Garden has some sort of dark magic brewing right now. Don't
say its name.
And I think really what happened is when we uncovered the new slogan, like it's almost like you blew the dust off of like an ancient tablet. And it's sort of like you said its name 3 times almost and you summoned it.
At this point, I'm just sitting there like fucking the motherfucker from Courage, like, return the slab. Like, stop this shit.
Every fucking movie I see's got an Olive Garden reference. Like, when is it going to end?
It's dangerous.
I've eaten there. I've given it my patronage. Maybe you. Maybe you need to eat there.
Well, that's a damn shame. The next time I go to Olive Garden, it's probably going to be with you. So,
yeah. In like a year, probably.
Yeah.
Who knows? Do you have any Olive Gardens near you?
Not really like near me. Like,
there's probably some sort of like weird sit down Olive Garden like downtown or something like that.
That's not happening. I don't eat downtown.
There's probably some fucking weird, bizarre situation.
You know who likes downtown? Tourists.
Yeah. Oh, people who live there do not like downtown. Downtown is just a means to an end. If you live there, you only go there if you have to.
I mean, unless you genuinely, like, truly are one of those like up their own ass fucking people. They're like they love downtown. I hate it.
I don't like the actual logistics of downtown Chicago. I like the architecture.
I like the old buildings.
The old buildings, beautiful downtown Chicago. The stuff that survived the fire. You know,
Sometimes I wish Chicago didn't know.
You already live in New Chicago, as some would call it. Some of those old timers.
Chicago.
Anyway, Todd, I think that's really all I've got to say about that shit, Todd. I've got a whole bunch of news though. There's a lot to unpack this week.
Oh, I know.
Now I'm actually glad. This is the first time this has happened in a long time, where the biggest news story of the week actually broke before we recorded. Let's just rip that Band-Aid. Let's get right into this. This is undoubtedly going to be the biggest topic of the week, so let's just knock it out. Let's just talk about it. Let's address the elephant in the room. E3 2020 has been canceled.
Everyone play a sad violin.
Do. How do you what are you feeling about this? What's
I'm gonna be honest. I saw it coming with like all the other like expos and shit getting canceled for the coronavirus.
Yes, this is all happening as a result of the coronavirus.
Granted, I'm like, is it really gonna be? Is coronavirus still gonna be this much of a thing in June?
So yeah, there are a lot of people who are sort of thinking that there are two camps here. There are two camps. There are people who think it's going to get worse, and then there are people who think that because of the warmer weather, it's going to actually die.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess only time will tell. But the fact of the matter is, June. E3 is going to be taking place less than 3 months away from now, and they need time to organize all that stuff. And I'm sure they already were deep into their plans and organizing and stuff like that. So if people are too sick to actually go out there and work on the show, it's just not going to happen. And a lot of people were dropping out anyway. To be honest, after Keeley dropped out, it was all downhill from there, Todd.
Oh, well, at that point, it was just over with anyways.
After that savage final nail in the coffin, they call it the Keeley killing blow. They will talk. It's going to be in the next. It's like in Sun Tzu's Art of War. That was a killing blow so savage. E3 was never going to recoup from that anyway. But I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit sad. I'm not.
E3 has gone the way of GameStop in my mind.
It's no.
I'm just
It's still like something that I look forward to. I look forward to the news and seeing all the stuff. And I'll be real. If you actually read Jason's piece over on Kotaku about it, we're gonna hear about some cool shit. He has a little bit of a scoop there on his Kotaku piece. So a newcomer was actually going to be entering the press conference game, Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to be talking about the new Batman game that has been fucking announced that game already. Were you guys really, you assholes, were you really going to hold it for E3?
Apparently.
By the time they first started teasing it last September, and you guys were going to hold it for almost a year? Ugh. Gross. And then they also were going to apparently announce that Harry Potter game that was leaked a couple years ago. We covered it on the show.
Yeah.
And the next game from Rocksteady. So I'm wondering if now they're just going to go like the digital event route, which I think a lot of people are going to go. Phil Spencer has sort of said that Xbox is going to be going the digital route this year. Matter of fact, I'm looking at his tweet here right now. He says, E3 has always been an important moment for Team Xbox. Given this decision, this year we'll celebrate the next generation of gaming with the Xbox community and all who love to play via an Xbox digital event. Details on timing and more in the coming weeks. I think that's what we're going to be moving towards. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people doing digital events this year.
The future is now, old man. No.
Do you think that in a weird way, this coronavirus pandemic has kind of forced E3 into the modern age?
I mean, in a way, because I think even they were saying about like trying to do like some digital shit their damn self.
Well, they were kind of talking about like the ESA was saying like we're gonna have some digital stuff going on, and the exact quote. Let me not misquote them here. They say, after careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, blah, 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 we've made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020. They say that, let me see here, they're looking to, quote, coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So that does make it sound like they've got some sort of streaming thing planned for some announcements. Maybe that's where a lot of these people are going to find their home. I don't know. But I sort of feel like, in a weird way, this is sort of the push that E3 kind of needed to be like, hey, welcome to the future. Like,
all it took was a fucking pandemic.
Yes. To bring us all together.
Can I tell you some real shit? The dumbest shit. I've seen so much stupid shit. The shit that people buy makes no sense.
Okay.
What, motherfucker? How much toilet paper do you assholes need?
Literally, how much toilet paper do their assholes need?
It's unreal.
You know, I've been thinking about getting a bidet,
Bro,
like real hard lately.
We're out of stock at the warehouse. Not just
for toilet paper,
dude. The warehouses for all for my company, my store, just dead ass, just completely out of stock. I'm like Charmin. It's
Wow.
like fucking shit, dude. It's so fucking stupid. You basically walk down my first 3 aisles, and it's just like those aisles got bent over and fucking plowed.
Wow. That's crazy. No, I it's funny too because, I've been seeing reports that like a lot of like hand sanitizer has been like.
Oh, you know what I tell people this now? When people ask me for hand sanitizer,
Go to eBay.
Well, that, and it's also like if we do have it, it'll be in aisle 4, top shelf, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, we're more than likely out.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually, it's so bad that we're starting to order like shit to where you can make your own hand sanitizer.
Wow.
It's fucked. It's fucked, dude. It's
wow.
real fucked.
I don't know. Would you ever? Let me ask you this, because we actually are actively debating on getting a bidet. Would you consider doing the bidet thing?
I wouldn't mind having some water go up my ass.
Just shoot up your ass.
I wouldn't mind it.
Get you nice and squeaky clean. Yeah. Now you do still use a little toilet paper to pat yourself dry. Maybe get some remnants.
No.
You just want to drip dry.
Full bidet.
Just soggy ass.
I want the one that has an air dryer.
Do they do that? They make that?
I feel like that's the thing.
Oh, God. That'd be awesome. You can actually get bidets for relatively cheap.
They're not good. You need
No.
some
You misunderstand. I'm not talking about like the $20 ones. There's a what's it called? I think it's called like Hello Tushy or something like that.
I feel like I've heard that one, yeah.
Or Hi Tushy or something like that. And yeah, it's a like pretty high quality bidet for like $75. Doesn't look like it's that hard to install either. Thinking about it hard. Anyway, I value a clean asshole, Todd. It's always good to have a clean asshole. Anyway, Todd, we'll mourn the loss of E3 later. I mean, look, E3 is kind of a big year for us, like a big time of the year for us.
Not anymore, bitch.
I have I mean, we started this show, literally, with E3 coverage. I mean, E3 is historically, it's a very busy time of the year. Like, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of furious note-taking, just pounding away at these notes, and a lot of news to cover, and really long shows and predictions. But I'm going to miss that this year, man. I really am. I'm going to miss not having the typical E3 coverage to work on. It's going to be weird.
You fucking disgust me. No, I'm just...
It's going to be weird to find a new status quo, I guess, for E3 coverage. For us and, several other people who cover video game news. I don't know, man. We shall see. Anyway, moving along to greener pastures, I've got some positive news. And you know what? I'm going to bring this up because you mentioned GameStop. I've got some positive news about GameStop, Todd. Your one weakness.
Damn it! They need to stop fighting.
Your one weakness.
They need to go off into that night. God damn it!
Some positive news about GameStop will make you melt to listen to, Todd. But GameStop has acquired some, let's say, Nintendo power.
Yeah, I already heard about this.
So beginning April 20th, former president of Nintendo America, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Fun fact, they actually, in their press release about this, they called him by his full name, Reginald Fils-Aimé.
That bothers me. I don't like it.
Nobody calls Reginald Fils-Aimé Reginald Fils-Aimé. That's not even probably what it says on his fucking birth certificate. It's Reggie. Reggie or Reginator is the only thing acceptable. But Reggie is going to be joining GameStop's board of directors. Joining him, actually, is former Walmart president Bill Simon and PetSmart CEO J.K. I'm going to butcher this last name. It's like a Polish last name. I'm going to go with Simchek.
Now, can I be real? As much as I like talk shit about GameStop, I am curious to see what they are going to do to try to save this company. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see, like, get me into a GameStop, because I haven't been into a GameStop in, honestly, probably a decade.
So GameStop has been, as you know, we cover, I play both sides of the coin with GameStop. I always have, I always will. I'm going to cover the negative news about GameStop. I'm also going to cover the positive news about GameStop. And the fact of the matter is, GameStop has been on a downward trajectory since like 2014. They've been posting massive losses over the past 2 years. They recently completely restructured the entire company. And I got to be honest, hearing these three being added to the board of directors may be the smartest thing the company has done maybe ever. Because if anybody is going to turn your fortunes around and set your company right, it's going to be the fucking president of Walmart. And it's going to be Reggie. You know
what do you think they're going to be? What do you think they're going to do? Like, what do you think, like, what sort of initiatives you think they're going to, like, try to, like, save the ship?
That's going to be the most interesting thing. I think that what Reggie is going to bring to this company, though, on its board of directors, what I'm really hoping that Reggie does, because Reggie, above all else, he's a personality that people already love, and he's an actual true blue. He actually is a gamer. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing Reggie, like, bring a gamer's perspective to the higher-ups of the company, because, like, you see these company bigwigs and you know they're just there for the paycheck. Reggie's not. Reggie retired from Nintendo. Like, he's been around the fucking ballpark. He doesn't need to do this. He wants to do this. And in fact, Reggie seems excited to get to work here, because he even said on Twitter, he said, quote, "The gaming industry needs a healthy and vibrant GameStop. I look forward to being a part of the board and helping to make this happen." So, yeah, Reggie, if anybody can turn this ship around, it's going to be Reggie. And in terms of, what are they going to do for initiatives? I don't know. I think that the core tenets of GameStop need to change. Like, I think that they need to move away from the business model of, like, forcing additional things down customers' throats.
The quota system.
Yeah, the whole quota system and everything. Yeah. I know the circle of life was sort of, like, done away with or whatever, but they're still very much judged on, like, numbers and subscriptions and stuff like that. Make these things attractive. And if you make them attractive, if you make them actual good deals, then the people will buy it because it's a good thing to buy, not because you're forcing it on me. So, I don't know. And you know, they've already sort of done this whole thing where they want GameStop to be like a more hangout-y place, and there are test stores for that. I don't know, that doesn't do much for me. I think that could be interesting. And
it could be interesting, but I just feel like GameStop just not that... The stores aren't big enough for that sort of shit. Yeah.
I mean, maybe if they, like... You know, they have to, restructure your rewards program. The whole, like, you get $5 or whatever, that's a joke, dude. That's stupid. Yeah. Like, you made it objectively worse with that. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are going to have to change. I think Reggie's the man for the job. And this news made me excited. Made me excited for the possibilities. We'll see. Will it be enough to save GameStop, Todd? I don't know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. I'm rooting for him. I really am. I'm rooting for him. But I've always been rooting for him. Anyway, speaking of Nintendo, segue. A partnership between Lego and Nintendo was announced this week on March 10th. Otherwise known as Mario Day. I hear you laughing over there. You're ready for me to bring out my conspiracy board, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a bitch. I've seen your post.
So we don't know much about this whole collaboration. There was a vague teaser image. There it shows Mario kind of looking stylized like really differently than the typical Lego set. What do you make of this? Do you think that they're just teasing like a new Mario themed Lego set here, or do you think it could be something more?
Lego Mario game, maybe?
That's sort of my thought process is like, why would they team up with a video game company? Now, they have done other I think there's Lego Overwatch, there's like Lego Minecraft and stuff like that. That's all well and good. But I don't know. I don't feel like Nintendo would go for this if it was simply just going to be a Lego set. I don't think that's exciting. Like, I don't think it's that exciting to be like, hey, you're going to have some Mario characters in Lego form. Who gives a fuck? Like, that'd be cool or whatever, but it's not like, that's not something worth, like, really coming out and announcing, you know? And the Mario Lego looks, to me anyway, a lot different than a normal Lego set. So, I don't know. I think this could be video game related. I think it's totally possible. Maybe it's everything. Maybe they're gonna make Lego sets, and maybe they're gonna have a game to tie into it. I could totally see that. I would love a Lego Mario game. That would be so good. Are you kidding me? With all the Nintendo characters, I would eat that shit up. That's a day one purchase. I guess we'll have to see. But perhaps more interesting than the tease itself is here comes the conspiracy board, Todd. The PR slip-up that was associated with it. So, you all know me. I've been fiending for this Nintendo Direct, right? This drought. I'm thirsty, Todd. My throat is dry. I need a Nintendo Direct. I've sort of laid off, as you know. I've sort of backed up a little bit. But the hunger has never truly been satiated. Now, there was a image that they posted with this announcement that has since been deleted, but it read the following. It read, heard about the partnership between Lego and Nintendo? The latest Nintendo Direct.
I swear to God, I feel like when you read that shit, like your dick fucking moved.
Announced their exciting collaboration. The first time that the two big brands have worked together. Details are limited at this stage,
dude,
but we hope you're as excited as us.
Yeah, I know the moment you read that shit, your dick moved. I know it.
Well,
You're like,
it was not even like, it didn't even excite me for the fact of like there being an acknowledgement of a Direct existing, but just like the vindication. Everybody has been calling me crazy.
I mean, you are crazy, but
it makes too much sense. There has to be a Direct soon. And it's like, by the way, this is not unfounded either. Now, I don't know what the proof is here, but VentureBeat actually reported that there's going to be 2 Directs before the end of the month. He was saying like, yeah, there's going to be like a Nindy Direct on the 18th and then a proper general Direct on the 26th. Who knows? I'm not gonna go neither here nor there with that, but they are going to do a Nintendo Direct soon. There was one planned for this week that got shit canned at the 0 hour, and we have evidence of that here. This is 100% proof that a Nintendo Direct was supposed to be happening and got shit canned. By the way, that image, I'm sure after somebody got fucking yelled at, was promptly deleted and replaced with a new image that removed all reference of a Nintendo Direct.
Such as the motherfucker that posted it.
Yeah, he was also removed and replaced. Yeah, exactly. So,
you fucking idiot.
It's like what's that meme where it's like discard this, it will not be reused. Do that with people over there at Nintendo. Discard that employee, it will not be reused. Yeah,
you made an oopsie. No.
Yeah. Oh God, I just a Nintendo Direct is coming soon. And by the way, people who are sitting here thinking I'm fucking crazy, they're gonna want to have a Nintendo Direct before April. By the way, because the end of March, March 31st, that is the end of their fiscal year. You're gonna want your investors to see what you have coming, so that they fucking put their money into the company. You're gonna tell me that they're gonna come into their next fiscal year with nothing? They're going to come into their next fiscal year with no games on the horizon at all. No. That's not how that's going to go down. We are going to get a Nintendo Direct this month. And Todd, you can take that to the fucking bank.
Now, I want you to know, if this month passes.
If this month passes and there's no Nintendo Direct, I will be so shocked.
No. You will never cover another Nintendo. No,
that's not true.
I know, I'm talking shit.
I would be flabbergasted if the month of March passes with no Nintendo news. Like, we have to have it.
No, by the way, even if it's the April 1st, you still lose.
No. They have to have something for the end of their fiscal year. They can't be like, hey, here's fiscal year 2020 or whatever, and you just don't know about anything. Like, that can't happen. I understand there's probably a lot of like weird shit going on with the coronavirus. Honestly, I think that's the big thing. I think the coronavirus probably had a lot to do with delays of this Nintendo Direct. I think they've probably been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I don't think they can push it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do it. You gotta shit or get off the pot. I could totally see this VentureBeat thing being real. The Nindies Direct on the 18th and then the General Direct on the 26th. That could totally be real. We'll see. When it happens, we'll cover it. Anyway. So, Todd, I'm surprised you haven't checked this out yet. Call of Duty Warzone.
I technically have played the tutorial.
Did you? You haven't done a proper game, though?
Nah, I'm probably gonna hit it up tomorrow.
Yeah, so obviously we have been
time of this recording.
Yeah. Obviously, this has been like the worst kept secret ever. But yeah, Call of Duty Warzone officially revealed this week. It's available now. As reported, it is a standalone free-to-play battle royale game. But now we know some more concrete details. Actually, something that we were curious about was actually kind of answered in the PR package. So the Battle Pass rewards and like your progression actually is shared with the proper game. So that's cool. That's good to know. Warzone has two main modes. It's got the titular Warzone mode, and it's also got a mode called Plunder.
Yep.
So in Warzone, 150 people will drop into an enormous Verdask map where teams will loot and fight to be the last one standing. Cash can be collected on the battlefield and can be exchanged for things like equipment, field upgrades, kill streaks, or revive tokens.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, you can actually get loadout tokens.
That's pretty cool.
You can get loadout like drops, and you can actually get a custom loadout and shit like that.
Taking a little bit, not directly lifting it, but taking a little bit of a page from Realm Royale's book there.
Yeah, in a way. Then they also have, at this point, the ping system is like a necessity in battle royales in my mind.
Oh, Apex totally changed the game with the ping system.
And I think one of the cooler things that the game does, though, is you only get this chance once, but the first time you die, you get sent to the gulag.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
And that is essentially a 1v1 gunfight, and I love it.
1v1 gunfight against another player who's been eliminated, and if you win, you come back to life.
You only get that once, and that's still such a cool thing to me.
That's super cool, man. There's also apparently something called contracts, which are like these optional like mini missions, I guess.
Yep.
That sounds cool. You can get like rare loot or cash or weapon XP. So the plunder mode, though, this is actually, so my wife's been playing this pretty much all day today and just trying to get a feel for it. The plunder mode is the one that she actually prefers.
Mm-hmm.
So in Plunder, players are rushing to gather as much cash as possible. You're doing things, you're raiding supply boxes, you're killing people, killing opponents, completing contracts, controlling cash deposit locations. But unlike Warzone, Plunder's got unlimited respawns and stuff like that. So it's more of a traditional multiplayer game mode.
I'd rather just play Battle Royale if I'm going to do Warzone. So.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, she sort of likes I guess she feels like it makes it more unique. So she kind of likes I don't know, she's found herself preferring the Plunder mode, but, moreover than that, though, it's just like, say what you will about Call of Duty just feels better than any other game, Like, control-wise, the feel of the gun, like, that all just feels better than the competition does. So I think that gives them a big leg up, and we've talked about Warzone on the show as we've covered the leaks and everything. So smart. This is going to do really well for them. Really, really well. Activision is going to make a lot of money off of this. Make no mistake. Speaking of Activision, segue. A lot of segues on this week's show. Unintentional, too. It sounds like a new Tony Hawk game is coming sometime this year from Activision.
Let Tony Hawk die, and with some dignity.
I halfway agree with you. I have such a soft spot in my heart for Tony Hawk, man. Like, I love those games. I really do. The last good one was probably American Wasteland.
I agree with that.
I take that back. Project 8 was good. It was not great.
Yeah, I think you can say Project 8 was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, Project 8 was definitely the beginning of the end. Like, yeah. But it was like I did find myself enjoying Project 8. I'll never forget that.
I played Project 8. I enjoyed it.
When Project 8 first came out, I really liked the idea behind it. I remember really liking the soundtrack because it came out around the same time as Plus 44's first album. I remember I bought and played that game and bought and played the Plus 44 album when I lived in Alaska. So this was like 2006 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I have fond memories of that game. But anyway, so there have been rumors. There was actually rumors late last year that remastered versions of Pro Skater 1 and 2 were being playtested heavily, kind of in the back dark corners of Activision, although it was unclear if remastering the first two games was the project, or if they were just playing those games like as a test bed for something else. Like, maybe the idea is, hey, we're making a new Tony Hawk game, and we want it to feel like the old games, kind of go back to the roots. So... This week, there is a tweet from a punk band called The Death Set that was since deleted, of course, because I'm sure they got yelled at, but they tweeted, quote, "Just licensed 5 new songs to Tony Hawk 2020 game. You'll be hearing this shit soon," end quote. Oof. So, yeah. In addition, an interview with pro skateboarder Lizzie Armanto from last October actually seems to have kind of spilled the beans even back then. So this game's been in development for a little while. Seems like it probably is coming this year. She was being interviewed by a podcast, and she was asked about her appearance back in 2015 in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, to which she added, "Tony Hawk is coming out with another one, and I'll be in that too." So this is kind of a poorly kept secret that a new Tony Hawk game is in the works. Seems like pretty significant evidence that a new game is coming. Although it should be noted that Tony Hawk and Activision did part ways back in 2018 after the fucking atom bomb that was Pro Skater 5. So, if this new game is real, any involvement from the Birdman himself is questionable. You ready to welcome a new Tony Hawk game into your heart, Todd?
Why not?
That's all I want. I just want a good skateboarding game. Skate 4 joking aside, I just want to... If you give me Skate 4, cool, great. If you give me a new Tony Hawk game that's good, cool, great. That's all I want, though.
Seriously, what was the last good skateboarding game? Deadass.
Either Skate 3 or what we just talked about, American Wasteland or Project 8.
Fuck.
I mean, like, honestly, this is not... It is like fertile ground. I really, really love those games. Like, and they hold up. Like, I played what was it? They did a remaster, I think, of Pro Skater 3. It was either 1, 2, or 3 on a 360, and it like totally holds up. Like these games are still so good. It's so frustrating. I want a good skateboarding game. Give it to me. Let's talk about some more rumors here, Todd. Could Kojima be working on a new Silent Hill game after all?
Oh, what?
The internet seems to think so, given a few pieces of evidence that have cropped up over the past week on Twitter. So there was this strange Twitter back and forth with Aki Saito, who is the head of communications over there at Kojima Productions, and the company tweeted this out with the picture. They said, quote, "Sorry to be silent, everyone. I've been really busy lately. I think I can say more soon about what we are going to ... hashtag Kojima Productions." So this was accompanied by a picture of him writing on a notepad with a pencil. And the crazy fans on the internet took note of the word silent that was in the tweet, kind of a weird word to put in the tweet, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that caught my attention.
And then you zoom in on the pencil, and the pencil brand being used is Pyramid, possibly referencing Pyramid Head, obviously, from Silent Hill. Furthermore, Norman Reedus has said in recent interviews that he and Kojima are still close and are currently talking about their next project together. Meanwhile, Kojima has been tweeting about how he's been brushing up on his favorite horror films. Could it all just be a coincidence, Todd? Could it be a troll?
Something powerful is in the making.
First of all, I don't think Kojima's working on a new Silent Hill game. I think Kojima, it's possible that he's working on a horror game. If you haven't realized by now, Kojima and Konami fucking hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking hate each other. Like, how quickly people forget about what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh,
and like the shitstorm around that. And like it seems like it was a long time ago, I get it. But like don't forget, there's bad blood, dude. Especially in Japanese culture. This is an honor-based culture. And I don't know if we're ever going to know the true story about what happened between Kojima and Konami, but whatever happened, there was dishonor involved. Okay? I don't care what side it was from, but those two people hate each other. Konami and Kojima are not working together. That's just not happening. Now, it's possible that Kojima is doing his own thing, like his own horror game, and maybe it is going to invoke Silent Hill. Maybe he's going to try to make a game that basically is going to be kind of what he was thinking of for Silent Hill, but I don't think it's going to be Silent Hill properly. No. No, I don't. Although I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, with as early as they showed us Death Stranding, I wouldn't be shocked if we hear about it actually pretty soon. We heard about Death Stranding way too early.
Oh, God, yes, we did.
And it would not shock me one bit if we hear about whatever his next game is way too early as well. So, like, I would go as far as to say as we might even hear about it by the end of the year. Like his next PS5 project.
Yeah.
Give us some sort of teaser of what's to come with the PS5. Maybe that's a mic they dropped during the PS5 reveal event. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep a close eye on that. Todd, you want some Kojima horror in your life?
Yes.
That's probably actually something that you would buy.
Yeah.
Did you play PT?
I did.
Oh, man. That game was so good. One of my biggest regrets in this life is not having it on my console still.
Yeah.
That's alright, because people are remaking it in Dreams. So, people have just dead-ass remade PT in Dreams. Just straight up. Anyway. Moving along, I've got one last bit of news here, and we're going to end the show with a little special segment. But before we do that, the long-rumored PC port of Horizon Zero Dawn has finally been confirmed. We've been talking about this for a little while, Todd. Horizon coming to PC. As we've both kind of said our opinions on this, nothing but a good thing. We had an interview with head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios, Herman Hulst, who, by the way, was the longtime director over at Guerrilla Games, and he announced that, yes, I can confirm Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC this summer. There will be more information coming from Guerrilla from the new studio directors pretty soon. When asked about the future PlayStation games making the jump over to PC, Holst made it clear that Sony does not plan on taking a Microsoft approach anytime soon, saying, quote, "And to maybe put a few minds at ease, releasing one first-party AAA title to PC doesn't necessarily mean that every game now will come to PC. In my mind, Horizon Zero Dawn was just a great fit in this particular instance. We don't have any plans for day-and-date PC releases, and we remain 100% committed to dedicated hardware." So the people, the fanboys who have been like crying foul about this Horizon PC release, and they feel like, oh, why did I even buy a PlayStation? It's just coming to PC. You guys can all shut the fuck up, because here he is literally telling you point blank that they're still very much focused on dedicating themselves to PlayStation. And if it makes sense later on down the line, by the way, Horizon came out years ago.
Yeah, dead ass.
So it came out in 2017. So, like, yeah, I don't think you're really justified in waiting. Yeah, if you really plan on waiting 3 years for every PlayStation exclusive to finally come to PC, be my guest.
Well, I feel like just getting Horizon out on PC would get people interested in the that IP in general, and then maybe they'll get a PS5 to play the next Horizon game.
And that's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. I mean, they're probably going to sell another 1 million copies on PC. Easy. You know what I mean?
They're gonna mod the shit out of that game.
People are going to do some cool mods and stuff like that. And yeah, like you said, you're going to get people worked into the fold because Horizon's a great game. And people are going to want to further explore this world. They're going to want to pick up the sequel. And yeah, there might even be PC gamers who like it enough to pick up a PS5 for Horizon 2. Absolutely. So cool to have confirmation. There's no official date. He just kind of said this summer. So, but cool to have official confirmation nonetheless that yet another PlayStation game is joining the fray. I did have a question though. Do you think they're gonna make some other PS4 ports over to any other PlayStation games you think might make the jump?
I mean, it's possible. I'm surprised Horizon is the first one they decided to do.
I mean, they did it with Death Stranding. Yeah. And that just recently got a release date for early June, and that's coming, and that's going to be a cool port and blah blah blah. And now Horizon's coming. I think Dreams is an obvious one.
Yeah,
I think if you want Dreams to survive, if you want that game to have a long lifespan like it should,
it needs to be on PC.
You got to put it on PC and you got to port it to PS5 because you really released this game at the tail end of PS4. Don't leave it to die on the vine.
Yep.
So I think Dreams is an obvious one. I don't know. I don't really see like Spider-Man or God of War making the jump to PC. I don't really see Naughty Dog games making the jump. I don't know. I guess time will tell. I could see maybe Days Gone making the jump to PC.
I can think I'd see Days Gone. I just don't think like the real like golden eggs would would make their way over to fucking PC.
I think it has to be a situation where it does make sense. I think if they had Days Gone and like obviously, the game had technical issues and stuff like that, so maybe a souped up PC, maybe it'll run a lot better on PC. So I can't wait to see what Horizon looks like on like a high powered PC.
That game was already beautiful.
It's already so beautiful and it runs perfectly. Like that game is optimized so perfectly for PS4 already. I can't wait to see what a high-powered PC running it at like 4K plus resolutions, like that'll be really cool. Fucking like uncapped frame rate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I want to end the show with a little segment here. I think this will be enjoyable because we actually got a question this week from one of our most loyal listeners, my friend Josh. Josh Vaughn, one of my friends that listens to the show. He's been there for us, supporting the show since day one. So shout out to Josh. He is a truck driver, So he's on the road a lot, and he hit me up earlier this week saying, "Hey, like my niece just got a Switch, and I got myself a hotspot set up in my truck, so I'm actually able to play online now." And he asked me if I would recommend some fun online co-op games for Switch that they can play together. And well, as you know, Todd, he asked the right person. So he actually told me, he's like, if you want to, you can actually just answer my question on the show. That would be really cool. So he's like, yeah, you know what? We'll make this a segment on next week's show, and I'll make a little list for you. Give me a little time to compile a list, and we can talk through some of these. I think you'll agree with me on some of these. So I've got a little list in no particular order here of some games that I can wholeheartedly recommend for online co-op specifically that you can play with your niece on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know how old his niece is. I don't know what the situation is there. So I've got stuff. I don't know what her like gaming tastes are and stuff like that. So I do have kind of a smorgasbord, Todd. However you pronounce that fucking word. I've got a smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord.
I've got an embarrassment of riches. I've got 8 titles here to recommend. Okay. Number 1, which is one that I think you can wholeheartedly agree with me on, is Diablo 3.
I mean, you might not only want to know the amount of time that we've put into it just together.
Diablo 3 Eternal Collection on Switch. It's available. You get all of the DLC. You get the Reaper of Souls DLC. You get the Switch exclusive like Ganon armor. And the Cucco pet. It's got, I mean, that game has got so much, like in terms of like legs and replayability. I mean, you could play that game for as long as you wanted to, and
indefinitely.
Yeah, well, and the online co-op works totally flawlessly. Like you and I probably played the online co-op together for like 40, 50 hours. You know, it was great. And I would go as far as to say as the Switch version of that game is my favorite version of that game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like if Diablo 4 was coming out on Switch day and date, I would play it on Switch. Like literally. It's that enjoyable. So wholeheartedly recommend that. Number 2, this is actually a multiplayer game. This is Paladins. Now Paladins is available on other systems, but Paladins I think runs really respectably on Switch. Paladins is sort of an Overwatch clone, but I think you and I both agree that in some ways it's better than Overwatch, actually.
It does more interesting things with the way you can actually build your characters.
Exactly, and you and I have spent a lot of time playing Paladins together. Fun game, runs well on Switch. It is a multiplayer, like a competitive multiplayer game, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had there if you guys are into shooters. The next thing I have to recommend, another game that Todd and I played, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Great, that was a good time.
Good time, solid campaign. A lot of replayability there. If you really want to dig your teeth deep into that game and get real fucking nerdy with that game, you can.
And if you want to get a feel for the game, you can also check out our YouTube channel.
We did a full playthrough of the campaign on our YouTube channel, yeah, so you can certainly check that out if you wanted to. Really fun game. Like, I had a blast playing through that campaign. We had a really good time. They've added a lot of DLC also to the game, so if you find yourself getting hooked on like the Infinity Trials and stuff like that, you could always buy like the new character packs and the new challenges. There's actually quite a bit with each DLC pack. So highly recommend that. Number 4, this may be kind of a, duh kind of thing, but Minecraft, I think is a really good online co-op experience. The Switch version of Minecraft has cross-save parity with PC and Xbox One also. Not PS4, because Sony doesn't like to play nice. But yeah, it's...
Because no one played nice with Sony.
Yeah, I suppose. And so you have parity there with the cross-save for Minecraft on Switch. And yeah, I mean, Minecraft is just a really chill time. Again, I don't know how old his niece is. I don't know what kind of game she likes, but Minecraft is the kind of thing that you can kind of recommend to anybody.
Yep.
Number 6, you can kind of speak to this. This is, you may be surprised that I do recommend this, despite how fucking angry it makes me. Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 is on Switch. It has full online co-op.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been wanting to play more of that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play more too. Fucking Anastasia drives me crazy asking about Overcooked. She asks about Overcooked like every night. So, look, Overcooked 2, there's nothing that sparks just the unbridled fury within me.
See, the thing with me in that game is I honestly give into it. I just like to have fun with like the anger.
It's so fucking infuriating. If you like those kind of like, if you want a cooperative game where it will require true cooperation,
this is the game for you.
This is the game for you. Overcooked is a co-op game. So the first one, unfortunately, does not have online co-op. That's why I'm recommending 2 specifically. But 2 also has a lot of DLC. There's quite a bit of content there. And look, the game is fun. It's got a really simple control scheme, but it gets so goddamn hard. And, like, you're just sitting there yelling, I need the fucking tomatoes! Don't throw it! Just don't throw it! Like, they're just yelling at each other. It's a good time.
I love it.
I
love it.
My next recommendation is Runbow. Runbow is another game you can play online co-op. It is a kind of platformer / brawler where there's actually a couple different modes you can play with it, but the whole kind of gameplay gimmick is there is a constantly changing color palette, and the platforms will appear or disappear depending on if they're blending into the color of the background or not. So, really cool kind of little mechanic there. It's a fun, cute indie game. It's got a lot of indie game characters that you can play as. You can play as like Shovel Knight, various other characters from other indie games, like the SteamWorld characters are in there. Really recommend that. That's a game that comes out quite a bit whenever it's a good party game. Whenever I'm playing with my siblings, Runbow usually gets asked about. Number 7 or 8 I got here? Whatever. Castle Crashers. Great co-op game.
Good old Castle Crashers.
This game's kind of old. This game came out in 2008 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But the game's still great. And it just came out on Switch recently, and that's a great online co-op game, especially if you've never played it before. A great old school style kind of brawler, kind of like a River City Ransom kind of vibe, but with a cartoony, kind of over the top, funny art style. Really like it. Classic game. There's a reason that game has been ported to literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week, this is the last thing I have to recommend here. Next week, Animal Crossing comes out. Animal Crossing New Horizons. So, if she just got a Switch and she wants something kind of new and awesome to play on it, you can't get much more new and awesome than Animal Crossing New Horizons. You guys could quite literally make a town together or make a island together and play that game together on the same island and stuff like that. So, that's something to recommend. Also, I didn't have this on my list, but if you find yourself enjoying that, Stardew Valley has online co-op also now. Todd and I have played a little bit of that, and that works better than you would expect.
That's another game I want to kind of go back to.
Yeah, so that's 9 games that are all really good. Can you think of anything that I missed? Any omissions?
For just pure co-op, not really.
I think pure online co-op, that's a really solid list of games to play with your niece. So hopefully we steered you in the right path there, Josh. Hopefully there's something in there that interests you guys. So let me know. But that's about all I got this week, Todd. With that, I think we can kind of put a bow on it. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap it up?
Stay safe in this trying time.
in this trying time, go forth and buy all the toilet paper and all the hand sanitizer.
You ignorant fucks.
Hey, we'll catch you next week, folks. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
This is the last thing I have to recommend here. Next week, Animal Crossing comes out. Animal Crossing New Horizons. So, if she just got a Switch and she wants something kind of new and awesome to play on it, you can't get much more new and awesome than Animal Crossing New Horizons. You guys could quite literally make a town together or make an island together and play that game together on the same island and stuff like that. So, that's something to recommend. Also, I didn't have this on my list, but if you find yourself enjoying that, Stardew Valley has online co-op also now. Todd and I have played a little bit of that, and that works.